All right, man, let's talk about it. The NFL Power Rankings dropped by ESPN post-draft were dropped. And the New York Giants happen to be number 32 out of the 32 teams in this league. Listen, if you haven't seen my video on it, I do think the Giants had one of the better drafts in this class, if not the best draft. And they're still ranked number 32. In my opinion, I think that's BS. I think we got to revisit it and overall talk about why this team got better and where they got better. That's what we're here to talk about, man. Number 32 out of 32 is insane, especially when you look at the teams that happen to be above them, which is everyone. But the closest teams is going to be the Titans, the Saints, the Browns, the Panthers, the Raiders. When we talk about these teams, how much better are these teams than the New York Giants? Especially when you look at the breakdown from what ESPN drops with their power rankings. Talk about the New York Giants. Not only do they talk about the New York Giants and why they're ranked 32, but they also speak on what is their most improved position. And it happens to be one of the most important positions in this league. The most improved position is going to be the quarterback position. If you upgraded the quarterback room, does that not give you a couple more wins? I think Russell Wilson is definitely getting undervalued in what he can do for us this upcoming season. And I think Russell Wilson, at the end of the day, he helped carry that team to the playoffs last year with the Steelers. He did. They went on a losing streak towards the end of the season, but they had a lot of wrongdoings going on within that franchise. I mean, you look at it, they had to trade away one of their wide receivers that was in and out of the lineup towards the end of the season, and he was barely there. The Steelers' offense was not good. Russell Wilson helped that offense become what it was. Looking at it, what the breakdown is, no reason to beat around the bush. The Giants added 3 quarterbacks this offseason. The quarterbacks. New York ended last season with Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Tim Boyle at quarterback. The idea is to have Wilson and Winston handle most of the work with DeVito as insurance. This will provide Dart with NFL equivalent of a redshirt year. It's not perfect for the Giants, but it's an upgrade on how they ended last season. Virtually no talk about what we did on the defensive side of the ball, which is where we spent most of the money through free agency and also spent a lot of draft capital in the draft. The defense is mightily improved. We got to see it happen, but at the end of the day, you're making these rankings for a reason. You're making these rankings before the season starts, and you're still ranking teams like the Titans, the Jets, the Browns, the Saints, the Panthers, the Raiders. Are these teams really better than us? Now, once again, quarterback play is the most important thing. Is there a world where Russell Wilson can be just as good as Geno Smith? I think there is. I think Geno Smith is not that good. You've seen it when we went against him last year. I don't think Geno Smith is all that. Is there a world where Russell Wilson can be better than Bryce Young out in Carolina? And would that not improve what this team can do? Now, I'm going to sound like, I'm shooting from a wishing well and I'm hoping the Giants can be good because we know what it was. The Giants won 3 games last year. I know how bad it was. I went on a rant saying that I think last year was one of the worst years for a team in all of sports. When you look at what happened with the controversy with Saquon and the offseason hard knocks and releasing your quarterback, a lot of bad things happened from the New York Giants. But I think this year, if you eliminate half of those things, which we don't have those narratives going on now, Russell Wilson, go ball out. Do whatever you can. He needs a Sam Darnold-esque year. Shout out to my guy Vocal Vike. I was on live with him last night. He needs a Sam Darnold-esque year to continue playing in this league at this point. Russell Wilson brings that veteran leadership and also brings that he's been there. I think that's going to help this team mightily. What did we do on the defensive side of the ball? We added a starting corner who's been in the NFC South alongside a good Saints defense year in and year out. We added Javon Holland, helping out with Tyler Nubin on the back end. A year 2 Tyler Nubin. I think Tyler Nubin can be a dog for us this upcoming year. Tyler Nubin definitely is my X factor. And we look at it, we added Abdul Carter, which I think adding another edge rusher, adding another pass rusher, adding another dynamic player on this defense, there's no reason I don't think this defense can be top 10. No reason. This isn't even a defense video, but I'm going to let you know right now, man, top 10 defense should be the baseline. We invested a lot of money and we invested a lot of draft picks into this defense. It's time for it to turn up. And I think this upcoming year is the time. Shane Bowen, make it work. You better make it work. If not, you're going to be out of a job. Brian Daboll, you got your quarterback with Jackson Dart, but you also got Russell Wilson to pair up with Malik Neighbors. The offensive line, hopefully they're able to be healthy and be cohesive. I know we shoot for that every year and we miss on it, but you just hope this is the year. You just hope this is the year. You add Cam Scatterbo. Is he going to be that dynamic playmaker from day one? No. But you're pairing him up with Tyrone Tracy, who I think was a good electric back last year. We should see, obviously a reoccurring theme with that, but then you're adding Cam Scatterbo to this change of pace. This offense should be better. There's no reason for it not to be. Everyone wants to tell me all season, all off season, the quarterback is the number one position. And that's because it is. If you want to make a difference on your team, you add a quarterback. We changed our quarterback room completely upside down. Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson should be better than a Tommy DeVito, Tim Boyle, and Drew Lock. So that should bring up some wins. I don't think we're the worst team in the league. I think we need a little bit more credit than that. But we know they're not going to give us credit anyways. We know that's not going to happen. So I'm not surprised by this. I'm just going to sit here and let y'all know. I think the Giants are going to shock some people. Am I saying we're going to go into the playoffs? No, I'm not saying that. Look at our division. Are we beating all three of the teams in the division? I'm not going out on a limb and saying that yet. I'm going to let y'all know right now, I didn't make a video about it with Pickens going to the Cowboys. I'm not moved by that. I don't think they're going to be that much better just because they added George Pickens. I'm going to sound like a hater. I don't care what the Cowgirls do. And overall, I think George Pickens is going to end up fighting with CeeDee Lamb over who's catching the ball and who's not. Just being transparent. The guy was over here complaining about being on a winning team every year and making it to the playoffs every year and still complaining about what he's getting, and he couldn't get paid by his team. So the Cowboys are going to have to pay the guy, and at the end of the day, that's less targets for CeeDee Lamb. Me as a Giants fan, yeah, I want to see less targets going to CeeDee Lamb because CeeDee Lamb has been torching us every year. I'm not moved by that play. At the end of the day, Commanders, they did improve last year. It's time for year 2, Jaden Daniels, to do it again, and we know what the Eagles are. So, yes, are they at the bottom of the division currently? They are. But you need to play the games for a reason. I think this Giants team can shock some people. If we can smack them in the mouth, if we can do what we always did history-wise in terms of getting after the quarterback, if that can finally be the plan this year, there's no reason why a Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and an Abdul Carter getting after the quarterback, there's no reason they can't get home. There's no reason. And if they were to do that, the Giants are not the worst team in the league. The Giants are not number 32 in all of the NFL when it comes to power rankings. I don't care what y'all say. If we're looking at it today, I do think we're better than the Jets. Justin Fields on the Jets, I'm not worried about that. I do think we can be better than the Titans. They got the number 1 pick with Cam Moore, but they got a lot more issues to address, in my opinion, than we do. I think they do. The Saints, Tyler Shugg, they've always been a stout team that's always been in the mix for things, but they need the quarterback position. Are we sure they're going to go out there and be better? Come on, man. I'm over here fighting to be the number 26 or number 27th in these power rankings, but overall, I just know that the Giants are not the worst in the league. I just know that for a fact. I want you guys to let me know, man, what are your thoughts on this video? What are your thoughts on the Giants right now, where they stand as a team? And they should be better. They should be better. Maybe I'll drop a video comparing last season's roster to this season's roster. This team should be improved, and to think that they're going to be still at 32, that's pretty insane. What's going on right now is that we have rookie minicamp taking place and also rookie tryouts going on. Shout out to my guy Tay Farmer for jumping on the channel, I believe last week. So definitely check out that video if you haven't already. He's out there trying out for the Giants. I hope he gets his name called, and I hope he continues to stay with us, and we can continue probably, see where he goes. Tay Farmer, running back out of St. Thomas. Once again, check that interview if you haven't already. But that's what's going on right now. It feels like football's coming back, and I just tweeted about it yesterday. When it feels like football's coming back with this minicamp news, and then there's a month gap where there's nothing, it's brutal. It's brutal. But stick with me, y'all. We're going to keep pumping out these offseason videos. I decided we're going to start doing these in-depth player videos as the weeks progress and as we get through the offseason. I believe June is a dead month of football, so best believe in June, later this month, you're going to start seeing videos on these players and where they came from, the high school, so on and so forth. I have a lot of fun doing those, so appreciate y'all for tapping in. Definitely check out the other videos if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts. Are we number 32? Are we not? I don't think we are. I'll catch y'all. Peace.